Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Johnny, and today Junichi Masuda has actually decided to respond to the whole controversy in Pokemon Sword and Shield and explain why he decided to limit the amount of Pokemon that were only going to appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield and the Galar region Pokedex. So USGamer.net actually had an interview with him today at E3 where he decided to explain a little bit more of the reasoning why they decided to limit the Pokemon in this game. So let's go ahead and read the interview from USGamer.net on the decision to limit Pokemon Sword and Shield to the Galar Pokedex. Looking at some of the news that came out yesterday, there are some limitations on the Pokemon Bank. Only the Galar region Pokedex is only going to be accessible. Can you walk me through why that decision was made and why you think it's important to have that limitation? Junichi Masuda responded with, there are a couple of different parts to thinking behind it, but really the biggest reason for it is just the sheer number of Pokemon. We already have well over 800 species and there's going to be more added in these games. And now that they're on the Nintendo Switch, we're creating it much higher fidelity with higher quality animations. But even more than that, it's coming down to the battle system. We're making sure that we can keep everything balanced and give all the Pokemon that appear in the games a chance to shine. We know that at some point we were going to be able to indefinitely keep supporting all of the Pokemon. We just found that Sword and Shield would probably be a good point to go back and reevaluate what would be the best selection of Pokemon that appeal to the widest audience while keeping in consideration the balance of the battle system. It just isn't going to be all new Pokemon in the Galar region Pokedex. There's still going to be a lot of favorites that fans will be able to bring over that they adventured with previously. But yes, it's pretty much just balancing and getting the optimal selection of Pokemon of the adventure we wanted to provide. Can you tell me about the selection process, like deciding which Pokemon you wanted ported forward? How much of that had to do with the fan favorites versus balancing out the types and ability? There are definitely a lot of factors. The primary focus was the setting of the game. We have the Galar region and we spent a lot of time discussing which would make sense in that region. We kind of selected from there, but we are also selected types that make sure the battles are balanced and really provide this exciting kind of battle experience. Do you see Pokemon Sword and Shield kind of jumping point off? Let me repeat that. Do you see Sword and Shield being a kind of jumping point for the future of the Pokemon series? Because you're not only launching Sword and Shield and also Pokemon Home, Bank, and a lot of things are coming up around it. Does it feel like a new era in the Pokemon series? I think it might be fair to say it's not a transition. For example, at Game Freak, Omori-san is the director of these games, so we're passing on a lot of responsibility to the younger generation to kind of move the franchise forward. Also, being on the Nintendo Switch allows a new playstyle, not just handheld, but also on the TV screen. I think it's definitely going to represent a new chapter for Pokemon. Alright guys, so there you have it. He actually responded to the reasoning why he decided to take out all of the Pokemon, well, not all of the Pokemon, but some Pokemon off of the series in Pokemon Sword and Shield and only limited to a certain amount for the Galar region Pokedex. So he is mentioning that a lot of the fan favorites are going to be coming back in the game. That's a matter of opinion, I believe, on his behalf, that they're going to bring the fan favorites. But that would make me think that probably all the starters, all the legendaries, and a lot of other cool Pokemon that people tend to like and lean towards are going to be coming back. But a lot of Pokemon that aren't also going to be coming back are some that are a little bit more unpopular that people don't really talk about. So I'm assuming they're doing the decision which one is popular and maybe going throughout every Pokemon through the Pokedex and deciding which one will come out. So a good thing that he mentioned was that they're making better, higher quality animations. I don't know if that's true. I think during watching the trailers, the animations do look better on some of these Pokemon. So they're basically having new animations into it. I don't know if they're ports from the older games that they just ported the 3D models over or not, but it kind of did look like it from the trailers. But he's saying supposedly they have better, higher fidelity and higher quality animations. And that could probably be another reason why it took them a lot of time to develop a bunch of these models, and they couldn't really just go and transfer every single Pokemon because they were still making these awesome higher quality animations. Now I don't know if that's a big deal or not, But this is where it gets interesting in the interview. He says that it is to improve the battle system and to balance out everything. So he's saying that basically they're trying to balance out everything in the Pokemon games. So that's main reason why they don't want to bring some Pokemon back, because they're trying to balance out everything. He emphasized a lot on the battling aspect of the game, which makes me think, well, he wants to have the game be well balanced for competitive, which I don't really find a... I mean, I think it's good. Don't get me wrong. I agree. It's better to balance it out for competitive. And I know competitive players are probably not going to have a problem with this, and I agree with them as well. But if it was a matter of balancing everything out, I mean, every VGC has different rules when it comes to battling, so I don't think that's a really good excuse. But that's what he mentions, is to balance the game out. And for competitive, I mean, I know VGC usually only has like certain rule sets where they only include that region Pokemon, or yeah, from that Pokedex, or that region born Pokemon from the region. So I don't know why exactly he said that, but also another thing that he mentioned is they can't keep supporting all of the Pokemon, which is something that just makes it seem like this is a direction that they were kind of headed towards, where they're only going to bring certain Pokemons that they feel like it. They feel that they just can't keep supporting every Pokemon. I mean, there are over 900 Pokemon, and I can understand, even in some RPGs, there's not even that amount of monsters. So if they're really talking about the battle system, that it's to improve the battle system, you can understand that balancing everything out, abilities, and the new Pokemon, they have to be adjusted to it so it can be all well balanced. I don't know if it's an excuse. My personal opinion is just an excuse for not bringing them over. And this time in this interview, he didn't really mention anything about the development or anything like that. He didn't mention or blame it on development as being an issue to why they can't bring all the Pokemon back. So it's actually a pretty interesting interview, I have to say. What are my thoughts on it? I think maybe it still is something to do that they didn't have time to develop them. But him kind of stating that they want to balance out everything is just kind of making me lose hope even more in this interview, that they're not going to bring back the older Pokemon. It's like they just want to hit the reset button. Not hit the reset button exactly, but just not bring every Pokemon. Like, what the hell? I mean, personally, in my opinion, I'm still going to buy Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I really don't have a big problem with them limiting the Pokemon. I'm still going to play the game regardless. I'm a big Pokemon fan, and I'm just going to play the game regardless. But I definitely hear the people who are complaining about, oh, I can't bring back my old shinies that I used to hunt, or I can't bring a Pokemon that was so memorable to me from Ruby and Sapphire. I honestly understand the issue with many people that they're not being able to bring back their Pokemon. And I totally feel for them, especially if they shiny hunted those Pokemon in the past, or just out of pure nostalgia bringing your older Pokemon. I mean, not even nostalgia. It's just something that you when you're a Pokemon player, you want to bring back all of your Pokemon from the previous generations. And I can totally understand and feel why those people are actually complaining about this. I'm still getting the game regardless. I really don't care about it, but I understand many people's frustration. So when I read this interview, I feel like I don't think they're going to make any patches in the future. And believe it or not, I don't know if this was said today in the interview, where they mentioned all of this in the interview today. So let me know what you think in the comments section. Please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe.